My father started the Beachcomber in 1976 after being a director of therapy at a number of facilities up in Pennsylvania and then also here in Florida. And when he founded the Beachcomber, he wanted a program that was very specific. He wanted a very nice setting, very peaceful, very quiet. And he looked around and he found an old motel built in the 1940s. It has 8 cottages and a main house. And then he built his own residence on the property also. And that's the start of the Beachcomber. And we've been here for 37 years.
Back in 1980, I was in Florida State and really did seem like I wanted to be a history major, and computer science was out. My father calls me up and asks if I want to come down and go fishing at the Beachcomber. I said, well, sure, I'll do that. So I came down fishing in 1980, so that's over 33 years ago. And we went out fishing. I came back and says, well, you want to work? And I said, sure. And I'd never really been around my father much because we were separated. I lived in separate towns because of his addiction. We were separated. But it started a healing between the two of us. And even I get choked up thinking about that. But I got to work with my father, and I got to learn from him and his theory of treatment, to treat patients with respect, to have a space where families can heal. And he brought that to the Beachcomber. And that's what we wanted to continue here. Everything I'd learned through 30 years of being around my father and do what he did. And we're continuing that thing he had started. And it's hard to put in words, but that's what the Beachcomber offers, a healing place for people.
The foundation that my father set up in 1976 is still part of the Beachcomber today, the residential or inpatient program. We have expanded a little bit. We've added some holistic items to the programs over the years, like acupuncture and yoga and the life training, the boxing, some of those types of activities we have added over the years to instill other benefits into the program. And then of course in 2012 we added an intensive outpatient program, and the one reason we added that was we saw a lot of relapsing once the clients left a 28-day program where they were, in one location on residence, just went out on their own into a halfway house setting or back home. So the intensive outpatient, or IOP, is a nice stepping stone from going from residential to being on their own in a working environment again.
The Beachcomber's always been about families helping families through this terrible disease. In the Bryan family, we've suffered as much or more than any other family. And after 37 years, it's still a family operation. My 2 brothers, my niece, my nephew, and my stepmother, we're all still involved in the company, and we believe in it. And we've always taken a family approach. This disease destroys not only individuals, but families. And with the family approach, we think it's much more effective. You can't just treat the individual, you have to treat the family. And we know that as a family. We've lived it.
The greatest satisfaction for me is seeing the patients come in on their first day and then watching them throughout their stay have that change, and seeing them recover is it's an amazing feeling. Watching them blossom, I guess, is a good word for it. Seeing them make it, people, obviously not everybody makes it, but when we see people do make it, that's why I do what I do.
My father, who ended up in Skid Row, himself got his whole family back together and had a wonderful life that he may have never had if he didn't find recovery.